want to tell you about the best 10 hours I spent a few weekends ago. And I want to warn you up front that by the end of it, I was the one who got taught. Shocking, right? You should know one thing about me because the whole story kind of turns on this. When I run the vacuum in my house, which is one of my responsibilities, the lines are crisp. They are even. They are, if I am being truthful about my own nonsense, a small point of pride. I'm the kind of person who will redo the whole room because one pass looked just a little bit off. That's who was holding the vacuum on a Saturday morning a little while ago. And my grandson, Joseph, who's on the autism spectrum, was with me, the way he almost always is when he's at our house, glued to my hip. Now, Joseph loves machines. The washer, the dryer, the vacuum, anything that hums and moves with moving parts, he's fascinated by all of it. So when it was time to vacuum the carpets, I got a little bit worried that the big machine might be a little bit too much for him. So I did something that I thought was pretty dang clever. I pulled out the little toy vacuum that he keeps at our house, the one that he already loves, and I set him up to work the room right next to me. My idea was to keep my shadow happy and calm while I did the real work. He was thrilled, absolutely delighted. And then, standing there watching him, I had what I was sure was an absolute stroke of genius. You see, I know how Joseph is wired. I understand his brain. He loves order. He loves things lined up and precise. So I thought, here's my chance. I'm going to show him my perfect straight lines, my careful overlapping passes, my beautiful even rows, and he's going to fall in love with doing it the right way, my way. I was going to hand my grandson my exactness like it was a gift. Joseph, of course, had no interest in my gift. He vacuumed like a joyful little tornado. No rows, no lines, no plan that a grown adult could even recognize. He went in circles and swoops wherever the delight took him, and he was having the time of his life. Here's the part that undid me more than a little. We did not vacuum for 10 minutes. We vacuumed for the better part of a day, 10 hours, off and on. Not because the carpet needed one more pass. Remember, my lines were perfect. After he stepped all over, maybe I need to do it again. But it was because he was so happy that I could not bring myself to stop it. We even vacuumed our front porch. There was nothing left to clean, and we just kept right on going because the joy was the point, and the clean floor was just something that may have happened somewhere along the way. And out on the porch, still going long after the work was actually done, I noticed the thing that I haven't been able to stop thinking about since that day. Every single time Joseph turned his little vacuum off and on again, he ran the exact same routine first. He would line the head up at a perfect 90-degree angle to the body. Then he would turn the handle so it faced the same direction as the head. Then he would switch it on, and then, only then, would he bend the handle and the tube down to a perfect 45-degree angle. Every time, same process, over and over and over again. The same order, the same angles. It was a little ceremony, and he never skipped a step of it. And after that ceremony was done and complete, after the foundation was exactly where he needed it, the wildness could begin. That was when he was free. I had it completely backwards. And my grandson showed me, yet again, how backwards, in about the length of one deep breath. I walked into that morning thinking my structure was the gift. I thought if I could just get my straight lines into him, that would be the thing that made him happy. But he did not need my structure at all. He needed to design his own. He needed that little startup ceremony, the 90 degrees, the 45, the thing that made him feel steady and ready. And once that foundation was set, he did not need one more ounce of instruction from me. He was free to be completely, joyfully himself. The foundation was never the enemy of his freedom. The foundation was what gave him the freedom. I want you to hold that next to what I wrote for you around this video, because it might be the thing that you need. In this article, I told you why leadership training does not stick, how it changes what a person knows and then drops them soundly right back into a room that's designed against the lesson. This is the hopeful other half of that. You don't free your people by pouring your own way into them. It's not your systems and your straight lines. You do not free yourself by grinding harder inside a company that runs on your effort. You free everyone by building the right foundation, the steady ground each person needs to feel secure. And then you get out of the way. Let them be who they actually are on top of it. That's not less structure. Joseph is proof of that. He is one of the most structured little people I know. Bedtime routine is exactly the same every night. And if it's not, things go crazy. And it's the right structure, the foundational kind, the kind that holds a person steady so they can finally stop bracing and start creating. If you get that part right, you do not have to manufacture the ownership or the joy. It shows up completely on its own. The way it showed up all over my grandson's face on a porch that didn't need any vacuuming. I spent a really good part of my life believing my job was to hand people my straight lines. Watching Joseph, it landed on me again that the work was never to make people more like me. The work is to build the ground that lets them become more fully themselves. That is what we're actually building inside Leaders Evolution. It's not a set of my lines for you to just copy. It's the foundation, the steady ground under your business, under you, so that the people you lead can finally do their best work without you standing over every single pass, so that you can lead the way you were built to lead instead of the way survival has forced you to. Joseph did not need me to teach him joy. He already had it in him before I ever handed him that toy vacuum. He just needed the ground under him to be right first. And then it poured out of him for 10 hours over a floor that didn't need a thing. Your people are the same. The care is already in them. The good work is already in them. What's been missing is not effort. And it's not a better vision of you standing over them. It's the steady ground that lets what is already there come out. So do your people. So I would gently say, do you. The rest of this is in the blog article. Let me show you what the foundation actually looks like.